Houston turns tables on Tennessee in physically dominant win for Final Four berth. In Saturday's media availability, before the Houston Cougars faced the Tennessee Volunteers for a spot in the Final Four, a reporter asked Cougars coach Kelvin Sampson a question that started, "You guys haven't been to a Final Four since 2021. Sampson cut in, "Really? It's been that long. At any other point in Houston's basketball history since Phi Slama Jama, that sentence would have been hard to fathom. But over the last 5 years, Houston has been knocking on the door of a championship more consistently than any other school in the sport. Included in that stretch, 5 top 5 KenPom finishes, 5 trips to the second weekend, 4 conference titles, 3 No.1 seeds. They moved up to the Big 12, at the time the most feared conference in the sport, and quickly ripped through it to the tune of 34-4 in 2 seasons. Only in Sampson's world, one where expectations of everyone from star players to student managers are sky high, is the current standard not quite enough. And so Sunday's performance, a vintage Houston dismantling of a Tennessee team that profiled as one of the few that could match the Cougars' toughness and discipline, had to be cathartic for Sampson and co. For as many wins, 131 to be exact. Since that last Final Four, the few March losses were devastating. In 2022, Sampson squeezed every drop out of a team that missed star guard Marcus Sasser for the season's final 3 months. But a 1-of-20 shooting day from deep held the Cougars to just 44 points against Jay Wright's final Villanova team in an Elite 8 loss. The next year was supposed to be the year, with Sasser back healthy, a top 10 NBA draft pick in Jarace Walker, and the Final Four in its home city. Instead, the usually stingy Cougs got torched for 89 points by the Miami Hurricanes in the Sweet 16, and the 24 loss might have been the most gutting of all, with star point guard and heartbeat of the program, Jamal Shead, suffering an ankle injury early in the Sweet 16 against the Duke Blue Devils. He had to watch as the Cougars' offense withered away, and with it, the Cougars' hopes of breaking through. "It didn't feel like a fair fight," Sampson said after that loss. "You would have to take maybe 2 of theirs to equal one of Jamal. That's how good he was." Replacing Shead made this season's pursuit of the Houston breakthrough perhaps its most challenging yet. Shead was the on-court embodiment of Sampson, perhaps the sport's best leader and on-ball defender, in addition to being one of the top floor generals in the country. With Oklahoma Sooners transfer Milos Uzen adjusting to the position, Houston went just 4-3 in November and didn't beat a ranked team until late January. All they did from there, go 30-1 in their next 31 games, treating Big 12 opponents like the AAC teams they regularly dispatched earlier in Sampson's tenure. They're a late-blown lead against the Texas Tech Red Raiders away from an unthinkable 31-game winning streak, which would have been the longest such streak since Gonzaga's 31-0 start in 2020-21. They have a school record for wins in a season locked up at 34, a chance to chase 2 more, and the program's first national championship just 200 miles from campus in San Antonio. "This is the 11th team I've had at Houston," Sampson said. "We won 30-plus games 5 times, but this is the first time we won 34 games. And I'm glad these guys did it. The maturity of our older guys has been great for our younger guys." As for the latest chapter in this dominant 4 months of Cougar basketball, Houston left no doubt with its physical dominance of a Tennessee team used to physically dominating. The Vols found the paint essentially shut off entirely in the first 20 minutes, mustering just 6 paint points in the first half to compound their 1-of-15 mark from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, Houston took it to Tennessee on the other end, grabbing 9 offensive rebounds and generating nearly as many second chance points, 11, as Tennessee's entire first-half tally, 15. Their second-chance opportunities were big, and we felt like we got some shots, but we didn't knock down some of those early, and we weren't able to get anything really inside, Tennessee coach Rick Barnes said. But again, the second-chance points early, when you're shooting as poorly as we were, those were hard. Those second-chance points are hard to overcome.